What is up, guys? This is Pinzo, back with another video today. And just real quick before we get into the video, I would just like to say that we are approaching 100 subs, and for 100 subs, I will be doing a Q&A. So any videos I post between now and when we do hit 100 subs, please do be sure to leave a comment asking me a question, and I will do my best to answer them on that Q&A video. So thank you for that, and without further ado, let's get right into D&D story time. So today's story centers around a character I made in a campaign that I just started with one of my friends. This character's name was Thrune Trollhide. He was an elvish alchemist, and this alchemist didn't stand out too much at the beginning, but by about 3 or 4 days in of playing this campaign, he stood out quite a bit. And the reason for that was because this alchemist had 4 arms. And you might be thinking, well, 4 arms, like that's kind of cool. You can make bombs and then throw bombs at the same time, which would be kind of cool. However, that's not how I played this alchemist. Many alchemists do play the sit back and throw bombs type playstyle. However, I played a drink a mutagen and go ham playstyle. Basically, alchemists get a mutagen, and when you drink it, it increases a physical stat while decreasing a mental stat. So if I drink it and I can increase my strength, it will lower my intelligence, which kind of makes sense. It's a trade-off, but when you can increase your strength a lot, it doesn't really matter what the deficit is. My character all started when I found out that alchemists get discoveries. They get discoveries at all their even levels. And one of these discoveries that you can take is Vestigial Arm. And what it does is gives you another arm. And you might be thinking, 3 arms, like that's kind of cool. But then you can take it twice. And now you might be thinking, well, 4 arms, like, dang, that sounds really cool. But then you're thinking, well, 4 arms, you're gonna take basic attack penalties if you roll melees with 4 arms, because you're multi-weapon fighting, you're going to take big penalties. Well, normally you'd be right, but you see, when you can multi-class, then you're wrong, because when I take level 1 of alchemist, I'm a normal alchemist. When I take level 2 of alchemist, I'm now a 3-armed alchemist because I got my first discovery. And then at level 3, when I get a feat, at level 3 I get a feat, and in those feats I can take bonus discovery, which lets me pick another discovery as long as I have the ability to have discoveries. As a level 2 alchemist, I have abilities to have discoveries. So if I take my 3rd character level in another class, let's say monk, and then I take the feat that gives me another discovery, and I take my discovery as Vestigial Arm, I am now essentially a monk that can drink a mutagen that has 4 arms. And you might be thinking, oh, well, in Monk's Flurry of Blows, it says that you only get 2 hits. Well, normally, yes. However, monks also get 2-handed fighting because they fight with both hands. And it's a little confusing at that point because you get the argument with your dungeon master on whether or not 2-weapon fighting carries over to multi-weapon fighting if you have 4 arms. My DM said it was okay because he didn't really think about it too much, and that's where he went wrong. So now I am a level 3 character who can take a full round action to do 4 attacks with all 4 arms. Each attack does a d6 plus my full strength modifier because I am a monk. And when I drink a mutagen, my strength was 16, I think, base. So my strength is 20, which means I am rolling 4 d6s plus my full strength, which is plus 5. And I can do that 4 times. I can hit 4 times, meaning I'm doing a maximum of 44 damage at level 3, which is way more than you should ever do at level 3. So this character kind of broke our game for a while. He didn't let me take full advantage of this a lot of the time. A lot of the time he would have enemies that either there were a lot of enemies because full round attack actions can be difficult against multiple enemies because you have to specify targets, or he would have a really big enemy because I did have to beat the AC on each punch. So those were basically his 2 options against us, and the only thing about this that I regret is that it kind of limited the rest of my party. I wish I had maybe stopped at 3 or still been a bomb-throwing alchemist, because the rest of my party kind of got limited by the fact that I did all of the damage, and basically their only job was to throw healing potions at me and make sure I didn't die. But we get to the point where Thrune kind of meets his match. We get into this boss fight, and it's some big monster, and Thrune starts punching. Well, punches are bludgeoning damage, and if you are going against literally anything with any sort of resistance to bludgeoning, your punches are just going to do minuscule damage. So we go into a boss fight, and it turns out this boss has bludgeoning 5, or protection against bludgeoning 5, which means I can't really do damage to him because his AC, first of all, is high. Beating his AC is tough because my basic attack bonus only gets added to 1 punch when you're even if you're doing a full round attack, only gets added to 1 punch. So it kind of messed with our whole game plan here. In this party, we have a cleric and a rogue and a ranger, and there is nothing that any of them can do. Our cleric is basically the only one who can land spells because she knows Burning Hands, and basically just Burning Hands and hits him all the time. I'm up in the front, I have my mutagen activated, I'm trying to punch him, and even when I do land punches, they're only doing 2 or 3 damage a punch because I just cannot get through that bludgeoning resistance. So now we have to come up with a slightly different way to beat this boss. And needless to say, that way was essentially run away and have the ranger shoot it, have the rogue throw stuff at it, and have our cleric throw spells at it. At this point, I had like 3 bombs a day. I was not leveling with my bombs very well because I was building this very brawler type alchemist. So I had already thrown all my bombs, so I'm essentially tanking at this point. And I'm not tanky, okay? Alchemist's hit die, I believe, is a D8, and monks is the same. So I should not be really frontlining. My AC is minuscule. I don't really wear armor because monks lose their stats when they wear armor. So my AC is 15 maybe tops, and I'm trying to tank. So I'm sitting here and I do have potions of healing, so I'm just chugging potions in front of this monster while he just punches me while my team is lobbing in ranged damage. And it worked, okay? Needless to say, it worked. We did kill the boss, but that doesn't mean it was fun. I don't think I went above 10 HP that entire fight because I was just getting my ass handed to me because I had to frontline. And at this point, our DM had now our DM figured out how to kind of counter my character, which usually isn't that bad. But then he started to kind of do this with every boss fight, where he would make it something that either I couldn't hit the AC, or he would make it something that had resistance, or something that could do strength damage, or something like that, to just make it really difficult for me to get in there and do stuff. I kind of had to build my character a little differently toward the end of the campaign, but the rest of the party was helping me out as well. As soon as they got to be a little stronger, our ranger had good range damage, our cleric had better spells, our rogue could actually get behind people while I punched them. Stuff like that. Our party lived, our party told the tale, and Thrune Trollhide carried them through the whole thing. So guys, this was the story of how my character, Thrune Trollhide, kind of decimated a campaign, at least for the first few levels of it. So boys, if you enjoyed the video, please do be sure to leave it a like. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe. We are approaching 100, and as always guys, I'm Pinzo. This video's donezo. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.